So I want to say something about the Tuesday's class, not last Tuesday, Tuesday before, when I put a bunch of names up on the screen and I asked people to come down. And I know at the beginning of the semester I talked about the importance of volunteering in here because we do so much interactive stuff that it's really important that when I do case studies, people feel comfortable to come down and participate because that's just what it is, right? We're all in this, and we don't want to, well, I don't want a straight lecture class where I just give you read from PowerPoint slides. I wouldn't be teaching if I had to do that. I could never do that. I did that a long time ago, and I couldn't do it. So I think I threw you off, and I realized it afterwards when in putting not only did I put the names up, so it's almost like, I emphasize, look, you're volunteering, but by putting the names up and calling people out and saying, hey, come down to the front, I really volunteered you instead of I volunteered those people instead of allowing them to volunteer themselves. And not only did I do that, but I really pushed for all 10 of them to come down. And the reason I pushed is because I had a really cool, which I changed up in the moment, but I had what I thought was a really, really cool case study, and I really wanted all 10 people in order to do that, and I didn't anticipate that all 10 maybe wouldn't be here. And then realizing that, I kind of walked over the edge from allowing you to volunteer to me coercing or just pushing for it. So I won't do that again. I'll put names up. I've done that in the past, but I won't do that. And then call those people out to come down in front. Anyway, I just want to say that we're going to continue with engaging and people participating and so on, because we have to do that, because whatever, otherwise I start reading from PowerPoints. So anyway, I just want to let you know that's the reason. I got really exuberant in the way I was thinking about that. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to take a little bit of a turn today, and I want to talk about some of the implications of these things that I'm talking about in here that we're addressing. And one of the stalemates that we're at in the United States is that many of us think that we're further advanced on these kinds of issues that we talk about in here than we actually are. And many of us think, especially the generation of which most of you come from, have the idea that in some ways racism, stereotyping, prejudice, all these things, there are lots of incidents, but mostly each one of us thinks that it doesn't really matter for us, that we're beyond it, right? And it's largely the parents' generation, like my generation, the generation above or beyond, people ahead of me and so on. But, you all are grew up in a different world, and it's fine, and you don't struggle in the same way. And it's not what I see. And it's not what I hear. And it's not what I observe. And you don't struggle in the same way when you learn how to talk about the issues, and when you learn the right way to discuss things and the correct terminology to use and the right way to engage and approach people and so on and so forth. Then really it appears as though people are way more comfortable, way more out front, and that these issues are further behind them than they actually are. But what I would say, what I observe is when we really sit down and we watch people talking and we engage, it's not really what we see. And a big goal of mine in this class, the main goal, and I said it on the first day, and I want to come back to it, and I'm going to demonstrate it again today. My primary goal is to put things out into the room and make you just uncomfortable enough that you have to talk about it. And if I come into this classroom and I engage in the same kind of political correctness, like the political correct speak, that nearly all of you, and not just Americans, have learned to talk, to say, have learned to use, to engage in these issues, like we don't get anywhere. And we only get somewhere when we're just uncomfortable enough that we have to leave the classroom and have the kinds of conversations that we really need to have. And so my goal is always, never to make you too uncomfortable, but just uncomfortable enough. And I've spent 40 years doing it. And so we've watched a lot of the dialogues in the past couple of weeks. And my TAs and the staff who are watching the dialogues, here's what they're saying. We've had great dialogues. Since I really started with the one exercise of bringing 10 people up here, lots of responses, lots of opinions, lots of people throwing their ideas out, lots of contentious groups with people on different sides of issues, and rowdy groups, like energy, high energy, as opposed to people sitting around those circles in those rooms over in Pond and being asked, like, hey, what do you think about class the other day? And responding, I don't know. What did we talk about? Like, no, it's okay. Well, what do you think about what's going on in class? No, it's all right. Like, we don't want that. I don't want that. I want you to be engaged. I want you to sit up in the front of your seat and start having an argument, whether it's with me or you or your parents or somebody else in the room, because we only get somewhere on these issues when we're really engaging and we're questioning and we're thinking about it. Rowdy groups, that's awesome. That means I'm doing my job that I need to do so that you can do what you need to do, which is think. And that's where we want to be. The other thing I want to say is, so one of the things my TAs were saying is like, man, as they're watching groups, because every group is recorded, right? And Lori and I were looking at some groups while we were in Columbia. This TA saying like, man, what'd you say in class? Because you got a number of students who are really annoyed at you. And I'm like, I don't know. What did I say? And check this out. Across the board, the majority of students who got annoyed at me, who were using the terms like, Sam's a racist, whatever it is, were white. Like, you wouldn't know that because you're in a group, so you don't see it. The majority of students who got really unnerved by those two classes in particular are white. And I'm like, dang. Yo, what's that? It's like, it's almost like you are, it's hard to go there. You know what I mean? It's like, I find this over and over and over again when someone calls me out for being, who knows, homophobic. This goes back years. It's like a straight person. When somebody starts questioning whether I'm racist, it's a white person. When someone starts questioning really hardcore, you're sexist, it's a man, right? It's like, damn. And so what I find is that those kinds of ideas are really silencing. So if you're sitting in a group and you're sort of pissed, it's like, Sam shouldn't have done this, and he shouldn't have done that, and he should approach this differently, and he shouldn't talk about these issues like that, and he's making people feel uncomfortable, and he's all these things, and you're white, what's actually happening is you're lifting yourselves up, right? Like you're lifting up. Because what you're doing by doing that is silencing a conversation that we need to have. Oh, don't talk about these issues. Oh, don't talk about them like that. Well, how do we talk about them? Yeah, but don't like start calling people out and pointing out their skin color. Oh, really? Well, what should we do then? Oh, we shouldn't talk about skin color. Oh, I get it. Oh, well, let's not talk about hair. Let's not talk about anything. Let's not talk about people for whom English is not their first language. Let's not talk about accents and dialects and all sorts of things. Let's not talk about anything. Let's just pretend that nothing exists. And then when we pretend that nothing exists, power doesn't ever move. Power stays the same. In the world of race, what it means is white people continue to be empowered because white people never have to look in the mirror and say, wow, what's going on? We don't have to wrestle. We don't have to engage. And according to the TA, it's not that there were no black and brown people who were also annoyed at me because whatever, but the vast majority were white people. It's like, damn. You see how that works, right? So what I want to do today is talk about why it is that we need to talk about these issues. And I want to talk about some of the consequences of it. So let's go. Yo, bro, come down for a second, right? So, what's that? Yeah. I vetted him? Yeah, he's my TA, man.
Yeah, this isn't somebody we're just putting their name up again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I just did it again. Dude, have a seat, man. Here. So this is, okay, so hang on. So this is, okay, hold on. Peter. But it's not Peter. So Peter's our attendance TA, right? One of our attendance TAs. So say your name again, bro.
Peter?
No. Go ahead. Zayu.
泽宇照
Okay, hang on, man. Say your first name again.
泽宇
Zayu.
泽
Z.
Yeah, it's like it's not from the throat, it's from your mouth.
From the mouth,
Yeah,
okay?
like your tongue, like on the tip, on top.
On the
Yeah.
Zayu. Oh, dude. Zayu.
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Fuck. All right. So listen, man. So
Zayu, yeah.
Zayu
Yeah.
took the class in the summertime. And I saw, where did I see you? At the gym or something? Where did I run into you? How did I talk to you?
Email.
An email.
Email.
All right. Yep. Send me an email. I say, hey, dude, why don't come down. Why don't you think about just come on, just hang out in the class, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. So he comes to my office. I'm like, dude, say your name 100 times. I'm just like, it is just really, really, really difficult. Not to remember, to say it right. Everyone just calls you Zayu, right? So, and then you say Peter.
Peter, yeah.
Peter to make it easier, right? As most East Asian students, especially Chinese students,
Right. Yeah.
all come up with an Americanized name. How'd you pick Peter, by the way?
Actually, I picked Peter when I was like 8 years old. I came to Texas for American like elementary school, and then like I saw in like a Chinese textbook, just like the most common name, like, and then like the English textbook is like Peter. So it's like, okay, this is it, Peter.
Peter.
So like, yeah.
So I just want to be a commoner.
Actually, no, because like I came back to America like 2013, and then like I want to change my name to like Eric or something like not so common, and then like apparently it's on my transcript like, from like elementary school. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go by Peter again.
Dude,
Yeah.
could have been Sam, man. Sam's not very common. So here's the deal. So it really is only a matter of time, and mostly wasting his time, to just sit down with him and just, for about an hour, just learning to pronounce his name, man. And it would take me, okay, maybe it would take me a half hour. I could get it, right? And I could say it. And
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. And I still would say it with an accent. I still wouldn't say it right.
Right.
Okay? Why does this matter? It's only a matter of time. I don't do that, but I do. But I'm comfortable with it. Most of us are not comfortable with it. If you met him, unless you were at a party and you already had a couple beers, if you were in a class and you were in a group and you were doing a group project with him, or whatever the case was, he was another employee somewhere you're working, most of us would not be comfortable with this. Why do I know that? Because we study it. It's part of it. This is my job, so I'm at least comfortable. I might not get it right, and I'm actually not really good with dialects and things, okay? So here's the thing. If we're not comfortable, it has implications. So if we're not willing to be in this discomfort zone of trying to be like, dude, say your name again. What is it? And not be annoying about it, not make it funny, not make it whatever, right? It's just like those of us who have really complex names. Those of you who are from Eastern Europe or whatever, it's just like, you got like a name that's 10 letters long or 12 letters long, and there's one syllable in it. You think, or one vowel, one vowel. 10 letters, 12 letters, one vowel. It's like, it's not pronounceable. But here's the thing, man. How is it when you're just used to people not pronouncing your name and so on?
No, I just go by Peter, so they don't even know my real name.
Yeah.
Because I just present myself as Peter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why this matters, okay?
Okay.
Here. If I don't keep pushing, why do I push this issue? Doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to many of us in here, but it matters to him. Here, take a look at this. There's a study, Harvard Business Review, Asian Americans, least likely group in the U.S. to be promoted to management. By far and away. So what's your major? It's
Computer engineering.
Computer engineering. So he's going to get a job. He's a smart dude. What's your GPA?
Like 3.4-ish.
3.4? Okay. He's going to get a job. He's going to do fine. Computer engineering. Come on, man. He's going to get a job. But he's going to be much less likely to be promoted to management than another person in his firm who's not Asian. And you want to know what the number one reason is, bro? By the way, the number one reason you don't get promoted?
Culture, race?
Culture, race, the discomfort of difference.
Right.
Including pronouncing a name. So you got to go by Peter, but really what you need to do is go back and change your name to Peter Zhao. Zhu. How do I?
Zhao.
Zhao. Yep. Change it. Because what we know is that people encounter you and there's like, oh, hang on, what is this and what is that? And people don't want to be in that discomfort. They don't want to sit there. They don't want to be engaged. They don't want to feel that, the awkwardness. You know the awkwardness, right? You hear me, you watch me up here and I'm like, dude, okay, how do you pronounce your name? Like, what is it? Okay, we're in this again. This is really awkward. No one wants to be in the awkwardness. So you know what you do? You go on and you pick people just like you. We pick people just like we are. And we might think, no, man, I don't operate that way because we're going to pick, if you're good at management, we're going to elevate you to management because that's what we do. No, that's not what we do. It's not what we do. And pronunciation of names is right at the top of why East Asians don't get promoted to management.
Yeah, actually, I know a lot of people, so you can, when you are a foreigner and you get, your citizenship, you get to change your name, you get to decide what your name is on the official, the green card or whatever passport it is. And a lot of the Asians, Asian Americans, they would change their name from the Chinese name to an actual American name. So they would ditch their original name.
Yeah. So it just moves things along in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's another thing, right? We do this thing, it's very simple, right? Everyone understands him, right? When he's talking, everyone got it? Anyone have a hard time understanding him? So here's the thing that we do. Here's some research. So this goes back to Dalton the other day. I was watching that tape. Where's Dalton at, dude? Dude, was watching the tape when you were up here. Hey, by the way, make sure you apply to be a facilitator, okay? What year are you? What is it? All right. Anyway, listen. So they recorded a voice for about a minute. Just an average, like say my voice, middle America voice. I'm middle America. I'm from Ohio. So, I speak with a middle American accent. Recorded a voice. Then they showed, they put headphones on people and they said, listen to this voice and tell us how much you understand. And we're going to show you a photo of the person who is speaking. It's the same voice. And for half the people, they showed a photo, let's say, of Peter. Dude, hang on. I'm not going to butcher your name. I'm going to keep calling you Peter until I learn your name.
No problem.
By the end of the semester, I'm going to get it. So for half the people, they showed Peter's face. For the other half of the people, they showed either a white face or a black face. Okay? But not Asian. Okay, got it? The people who saw Peter's face suddenly couldn't hear. Like, I don't know, there's like I don't know, I'm not fully understanding him. There's something going on, like da-da-da, right? It's the same voice. The other half of the people are seeing, let's say, a white face or a black face, whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, no, I understand this person. Great. The same voice, the same recording, but with his face, those people suddenly had a hard time hearing. Oh, there's an accent, I don't really get it. Like, dudes, you see why it matters? It matters because if somehow you're being seen as we can't hear you, we can understand you, what's it going to mean for our clients? You're going to be in management. We'll put you in the back we'll put you behind a computer. We're all good,
yeah.
right? Technology is really good, but we're not going to put you out front. What, are we going to sing you out on a business call? Set up to represent our company? Like, we don't do that. You'll go and have this big presentation and people will be sitting in a room and they won't understand you. Even though he speaks perfect, his English is perfect. So when we're not talking about these issues, when we're not like really feeling the discomfort of this stuff, what it does is it elevates some people and it puts other people down. You see that, right? And so why is it important? Because Asian Americans are being discriminated, not Asians, not East Asians. Asian Americans are being discriminated against, even when they speak perfect and fluent English. Still, we can't hear you, we can't understand. Dude, this is this is serious. This is about his livelihood. So when I'm doing stuff in class, and then I hear, I'm watching, let's say a group or something, and I'm like, and people in the majority who are the ones who are going to get elevated when Peter doesn't get promoted to management, the very people who are going to get promoted to elevated then are turning around and saying, I'm not comfortable. I don't like how you're pushing these issues. I don't like how you're talking about this stuff. I feel uncomfortable. What it means is then you don't have to talk about it, and then you just stay elevated, and then he gets to be in this other position. How is it? Do you think about this a lot? Do you talk about this in the community about being discriminated against and so on? By the way,
Well, in terms of job seeking and stuff, definitely I feel like I have a lower advantage. It's not I feel like in terms of tech people, I feel it's more because there's so many Asians, more Asians in the field already, so they won't take more, so they will bias towards other races or genders and stuff. Asian males have a lot of people, a lot of population in the tech field already, so they will companies want balance, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes they will
you would think they want
Yeah.
the balance, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. We'll just keep putting you all in the tech behind the computers.
right, maybe.
So you don't be the face of a company or the face of an organization. Which is crazy. Dude, all right. Thanks, man. All right, man. So listen. I want to do something here really fast. So I was on the bus today, and I met somebody in class who was talking to me and said the piece about, we were just talking about language and this very thing about what people think and how a lot of people, when they hear her talk, they're a little bit surprised that, she doesn't have an accent or she speaks in a certain way or whatever the case is, right? And I say, you know what? I want to do something in class with you. So here's what I want to do. I the cameras, don't follow me on this. Everyone just close your eyes for a second. And just close your eyes, because I don't want you to see who's talking. And I'm just going to have a conversation with somebody. Yo, don't look at me. Keep your eyes closed, because I want you to see if you can guess what the background of this person is. Okay? And so where are you from? Wait, hang on. I'm going to say, so her name is, make sure your eyes are closed, dudes. Don't look. Her name is Mary. Got it? So Mary, where are you from?
I'm from State College.
And how long you lived in State College?
For about 20 years.
Where do you live in State College?
In a small town called Boalsburg.
Boalsburg. Have you always lived in Boalsburg?
Well, I'm originally from Alabama.
Originally from Alabama. You've been here now 20 years. And so you said that, so when we were talking today, you were saying that people are sometimes surprised that the way you speak, or?
Yeah, like sometimes people are like, oh, you're definitely not from a city because you sound like this. But like when you look at me, it looks like I could sound like I'm from one place, but I'm really from a completely different place.
Mm-hmm. So this is the exact kind of thing that I'm talking about. If we were to do studies, like if we were to do a tester study with you, and we would ask people, hey, can you really understand her? Like, what do you think? What do you imagine? Then people might have a different perspective.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So here, okay, so stand up really fast. So, okay, you can open your eyes now. So you can jump on the camera really fast. No, not you. Here, wait. Can you put it up, bro? So this is Mary here, right? Right. So one of the things that really jumps out for me is, maybe turn around and jump on, is this blue? We're going to jump on blue, team. One of the things that stands out for me is the discrimination piece. Like that people discriminate on the basis of just voices. Yeah. And do you ever, so when you are speaking, tell me about just speaking and I don't know, how, have you been told, do you try to speak a certain way?
No,
or?
but a lot of times people are like, you sound white when you talk, or you sound like you have an accent, but it's just because maybe it's because I'm from here or that my parents are white. But
people think you have an accent?
Sometimes people are like, you have an accent because they're not sure where I'm from, so then they get confused. Like if I speak a different language and this is my American accent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've been asked if I'm bilingual before, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So.
Although you speak French pretty well, but that doesn't come up.
But that doesn't.
No, but I don't hear an accent at all. I hear this middle American dialect that.
Right. Some people are like, you shouldn't sound like that. Are you what's going on? Your parents white? What's going on?
So they're expecting something of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the stuff, right? This is the stuff that all of these things are made of, right? And I didn't have a sense of that when I started talking to you. And you say you were from State College. I'm like, oh yeah, born and raised in State College, All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So listen. Hang on. Dude, you don't... here, let me show you something else here. Why these things are important. Take a look at this. Answer that question. What's the answer? You think it's B? Yeah, it's B. 140 points. That means anybody in this classroom who's of East Asian ancestry at all, even if you're foreign, but just Asian Americans have to score 140 points higher than white people. So white people, let me just say something really fast. I have to score 140 points higher than anybody on average. But white people, when you feel like you're discriminated against for being white, like other people are getting benefits that you're not getting, always remember this right here. At least in one way, you're getting benefits that you don't see. And you're getting lots of benefits because the moment someone sees you as white, they see you in a certain way, they understand you more. They don't question your dialect and where you're from. They don't question that somehow you don't, you're saying things that are indecipherable or whatever the case is. There are all sorts of benefits that come along with that. Here, let's do another one. Here. So, I need someone in class who has freckles. Who's got freckles? Just anybody, really. Freckles. Just who's got some? I have me, but just who has freckles? Wait, where's my dude? Come down. And then I need somebody. Dude. How about you, bro? Do you want to volunteer? Dude, how about you? You want to volunteer? All right, come on. Do you have freckles? Oh, yeah, you got a lot of freckles. All right, man. You can just sit up here for a sec. Dude, what's your name?
I'm Tim.
Tim, are you a freshman?
Yeah.
You got that shirt at the convocation. What's your name, bro?
I'm Myles.
Myles?
Yeah.
Dude, and where are you from, bro? Jersey? Where are you from?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Dude, I was wearing one of those shirts last week because I was at the convocation last week and I took it to Columbia with me. So I was wearing the same thing, same color. From New Jersey, from Baltimore. All right, listen, man. Let me walk you through something. There's no difference between me talking in an inherent, fundamental way. Now, there's no difference between me talking about his freckles and me talking about his brown skin. There's no difference. If I bring students up in the front of the class and I line them up between those who have a lot of freckles to those who have very few freckles, and I line students up according to those who have really darkly pigmented skin to really lightly pigmented skin, there's no difference. Because all we're talking about is hundreds of thousands of years of human Homo sapiens passing on their DNA and then their bodies adapting to certain climatic conditions and a range of other things happening. That's all we're talking about. And in fact, by talking about skin at the same level we talk about freckles, fundamentally what I'm doing is doing what people say we should be doing, which is not seeing race. You've grown up in a world, in particular, where you've learned, hey, if I see race, if I talk about race, if I talk about this guy as black, and by the way, in one of the groups where people were really struggling with what we did in class a couple weeks ago, one of the people who was really struggling with it tripped over saying the word black. I'm like, dude, you can't have a problem talking about these issues and not be able to use the word black when referencing somebody who's black. It makes no sense. And so we've grown up in this world where it's like we have learned, hey, don't talk about Myles. Oh, wait, don't talk about his hair. Don't talk about his eyes. Don't talk about his skin. No. If we talk about any of that stuff, that's going to be like we're walking in the world of racism. But we can talk about this guy's hair, and we can talk about his freckles and his skin and all sorts. And somehow that's okay because that's not politicized. And yet we're supposed to not see race. Dude, if you're supposed to not see race, that means you can talk about it. If you're comfortable with it, you can talk about it. We talk about all sorts of things with him. We talk about our ears, we can talk about our lips, we can talk about our eyebrows, our noses, anything. Because it's all the same. There's no difference between his skin and his skin. Myles' dark skin and his freckles. There's no difference. Except that what we've learned is, oh, hang on. There's all these political things that happen, and so this is like the third rail. Let me not really touch this. Oh, but we can talk about freckles. Freckles are cool, because it doesn't really matter. Like freckles, whatever, right? It's all good. What I'm teaching is no. As long as you don't hierarchically organize, meaning saying like, hey, freckles or non-freckles is good. Not having freckles is good, or having freckles is good, or not having brown skin is good, or having brown skin is good, or bad, or whatever. As long as we don't do that, all we're talking about is just differences. It's when we start to organize the differences, like, hey man, dude, what's your name again? Tim's hair. Oh, but Tim has better hair than Myles. Clearly. Like, oh, I'd rather have Tim's hair than Myles' hair. Oh, yeah, it's just better. Like, yeah, I don't know, black people's hair, there's something about that. Myles' hair, like, I don't really know. Dude, now you're moving into the world of racism. Now you're moving into the world of like, oh, come on, man. But talking about it is what it is. And when we don't talk about it, once again, it elevates Tim and it holds Myles down. That's what happens. And I'm saying, no. We're going to talk about this. I'll put it all out in the open. So here, you guys, can you stay up here, you guys? Are we good? Wait, do you have anything to say, first off, about what I just said?
Not really. I mean,
how is it having freckles, dude?
well, they get really bad in the summertime. Like,
No,
a lot
bad?
worse. Not bad. Like I get more.
More.
Like,
Hang on.
I go to the beach. Yeah.
But you said bad.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people. Like this summer, I went to the beach and I came back and I was first really sunburned, but then after that, like my freckles, like they get like there's more. Like it just happens. I don't know. And then
Because they get
people
more
point it out.
numerous. They get
Yeah.
more numerous.
Yeah.
More pronounced. Dudes, hang on a sec. But you said bad, though, so I just want to walk on that. Because a lot of people who have freckles don't like having freckles. Because we've been taught that we should have clear skin. Am I right on that? Am I like pushing on something that's not true for you?
I mean, I don't really care that I have freckles. It's just like,
Okay. But for a lot of people, they do.
Okay.
Okay? And one of the things that, like, we are what we are. Okay, but that's cool. Do you have anything you want to say, bro?
I find it interesting how you bring up the point that basically preference is how we rate like racism, because once preference comes in, we can view it as racism, because like some people might view that having white skin is better than having brown skin, but that's racist. But basically preference is kind of like the key thing.
Well, where does preference come from, man? Where do you think it comes from?
I guess it's kind of rooted in like human history and mankind. Like we always look to have like what we want.
Yeah, and where does what we want come from?
Basically our background, I guess.
It comes from the world around us. Yo, man, you see, like, here, let me walk you through something. If I'm talking about skin color, or I'm talking about your eyes, or I'm talking about hair, it's all the same to me. It doesn't matter. When I look in a mirror, I see perfection. Because perfection is 200,000 years of my ancestors passing genes down to get to me. And I can't change it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have plastic surgery. My hair turns gray. It's great. It's turning gray. I'm not going to change it not to make it not gray. It's straight, so it's straight. If it's curly, it's curly. If I get freckles, I get freckles. If I get whatever, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing. It's 200,000 years of evolution. And so, but what we do is we live in this world where we judge ourselves. And it's like, I should be lighter. I should be darker, because the world is telling us. The world creates the preference. If I said, listen, y'all, right, let me tell you something. The sexiest human being in the world is the ideal person in the world is 3 feet 8 inches tall, 3 feet 8 inches wide, and you grew up thinking that, and everybody around you was saying the same thing. It's like, oh my God, look at that person. He or she is 3 feet 8 inches wide and 3 feet 8 inches tall and fucking awesome. Like, oh my God, so sexy and beautiful. Like, oh God. And like really thin hair that's like, so you can see the scalp, and it's like gray at the age of 20, and like, oh my God. And like huge ears like this, you know what I mean? And like, oh God. That's amazing. That person, oh, how awesome. And they'd be on the cover of all the magazines, and they'd be the movie stars, and you'd be loving it because you were taught to love it. Everything that we love and that we prefer, we've been taught. Okay, so listen. Let me do something here real fast. All right? So check this out. Do you have, can I use this really fast? Okay, gentlemen, we're going to do something here. While you're up here, we're just going to do it with me. All right. So here's another tester study. You take this, you take this. So I'm going to go back so you can. A square. Okay, so check this out, right? You ready? There it is, man. Oh, totally it is, with one blinking eye, like we're rocking. Okay, so this is why this stuff matters to Myles. It really matters to Myles. And it matters that we take these things seriously. So here's one study that people did, and we've replicated it, so it's done many times. So let's say this is your interview, this is your resume, and this is your resume, okay? And we get these two guys, and they're actors, and we dress them exactly alike, and they're not alike. They're not dressed alike, but they will be dressed alike. So imagine they're exactly dressed alike, okay? And we train them. So you're the same height, you're the same weight, you wear the same clothes, everything. We teach you how to walk. So we teach you exactly how to walk, exactly like one another. We teach you how to shake hands. It's like, okay, that's good. And you look in the eyes for 3 seconds. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it? 1, 2, 3. Hang on. You got to be a little softer because you don't want to be too hard. We're going to do it exactly like 1, 2, 3. Yep. And everything is going to be the same. Okay? And they have resumes. So he's got a degree from Penn State in engineering, and he's got a degree from University of Georgia in engineering, or let's say Michigan in engineering, and they're going to go for these jobs, right? And they're exactly the same. Their GPAs are similar. Everything is the same about them. Everything. You got it? Everything. And we make it exactly so that when they go in for an interview and they start talking to people, they have the exact same things that are going on, okay? So now, we send them out to apply for jobs. And one of them has a felony drug record on the resume. They talk about it. Felony drug record. Conviction. And the other one, and then we switch it, and the other one doesn't. And we switch it back and forth. So sometimes it's Myles, sometimes it's Tim, all right? And then we keep going back and forth. Are we good? So we never know who it's going to be. And so we know, let's be clear, because this is a class on race relations, and we've evolved very far, but we haven't evolved as far enough, probably. So we know the most desirable applicant is Tim without a felony drug conviction. Okay? That when he goes in, the two of them go in, and the white guy doesn't have the felony drug conviction, they're going to be more likely to be interested in him. Okay? It's a given. Come on, man. We know that. You got it, right? You should know that by now. That's a given, right? So Myles is going to get the hands up. Who's the second? Who's the second most desirable applicant? Is it going to be Myles without a felony drug conviction? Or is it going to be Tim with a felony drug conviction? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Dude, who do you think, man?
It's gonna be me.
I don't know. Who do you think?
Well, like if it's a felony drug charge, I feel like he doesn't have one.
Yep.
Well, like I would want to say that he should get it, but I don't know if
You think? What do you think, bro?
I think I'll get it.
You would get it?
Yeah.
You're going to get it over him because he's got a felony drug conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, here, hold on to that. So listen, man. So here it is. Here are the data. Percent receiving callbacks. So without a felony drug conviction, 34% of the white guy versus 14% of the black guy. 17% of the white guy with a felony drug conviction get called back versus 14% without. So Myles, you're thinking it's going to be you without a felony drug conviction? No. It's him. So listen, my friends, here, have a seat really fast. Listen, dudes, what do you think this class is about? What do you think this is about? You think Myles thinks he's coming to Penn State. He's going to get a fair shake. Peter thinks he's coming to Penn State. He's going to get a fair shake, right? White people, you understand what happens when we as white people say, hey, I'm not comfortable here. I think like you're pushing it too far. I think like maybe we shouldn't talk about these issues in this way. Maybe this is really, I'm not really digging this. I don't really like this. I'm like, really? Really? Tell it to the other black students in class. Talk to them about that. Talk to them about how like, hey man, I don't really want to talk about this stuff. I don't want to go too far. Or I don't like the way you talk about it. Look, you know what? I don't like the way that we discriminate. And yet we're not willing to talk about it and take responsibility. Dude, look at that. So Myles, coming here he's your classmate. He's studying at Penn State. What's your major, bro? Computer science? What's your major? International politics. They're both your classmates. You assume they're both going to get treated fairly. You assume it's all good. We're going to pick the best person for the job. Dudes, we can't even go that far. We would pick the white guy. This is only one study of many, many, many studies in which we've controlled for everything, yet we're still going to pick this guy over this guy. Even when this guy has a felony on his record. And that's why it's important that we go into these dialogues and we go into these rooms and we have the kind of contentious conversations that we need to have. Because otherwise, like, where are we going to go? Man? Dude, how is that? This is one of many steps. How is it to know that you're walking around with that kind of benefit? That kind of affirmative action?
Well, like I don't want to. I mean, like. I guess this could be all tied into like the idea of like white privilege and everything, and I guess it's just like, I mean, like I don't think it should be true. Like it's crazy. Like I don't really know what to think of it, but like, it is what it like. I don't know. I don't want to say it is what it is, but like, it doesn't seem like the statistic like it's not changing. Like it's I don't know.
So it's confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
And yet it is that way.
Yeah.
And yet you're gonna, when you get your degree, when they hang you your degree, bro, here's Tim. Here's your Timothy. What's your last name? Eimer. So they're gonna call your name out, and you're gonna walk across the stage, and it's gonna be Timothy Eimer, and you're gonna walk across the stage, and you're gonna shake a hand. Here, you take that. You're going to shake the hand, and then you're going to get the degree. You're going to like, yeah. And your parents are going to cheer or whatever, and you're going to have this degree. And you're going to think, oh yeah, I fully earned the degree. I got it. And I deserve this. And I deserve everything that comes to it. Yeah, well, you know what? What's your last name, bro?
Davis.
Davis? Dude, Miles Davis? Oh. Same thing. Miles Davis. And Miles is going to walk across the stage and he's going to have the same thing. He's going to get the degree and shake a hand and go like, yeah, and his family's going to cheer. And everyone's going to be like, you're going to be at graduation and you're going to assume that these two guys are equal. And they're fucking not equal. It's not, we are not there, my friends. We are not there. And every study we look at, every time we control to try to identify the race, what it is that's going on, what we find is like, man, some people get some affirmative action that other people don't have. And then when these people, whether it's men, whether it's straight people, whether it's able-bodied people, whatever it is, rich people, middle-class people, whatever it is, white people, whoever's on top, when they don't want to talk about it, when they don't want to wrestle with the issues, it just elevates us, dude. Like, if we can just get people to stop having these difficult conversations and stop having to confront it and deal with it, then it's great. It's all good. I don't have to think about it. You and I can walk home with our degrees and feel like, yeah, we earned this stuff. We got it. This is all good. Everything I get, I earned it, and it's all good. I don't have to question it. And I'm never going to see when Myles doesn't, runs into this. I'm never going to see it. And I'm going to think, oh, I'm good. I'm not racist. I'm really good. I learned to not be racist. Really? So did all these people. They all learned to not be racist. And yet they're doing it. What makes any of us think we're not going to do it? We're not going to be part of it. And that's why I teach this class, because this stuff, man, I just got a problem with it. Dude, how's it feel, man, for you, knowing that this kind of stuff does await? It's not going to affect every single thing you do, but it's out there waiting for you. How is that for you?
Well, I guess I just gotta work harder. I mean, it kind of like makes me lower, so I have to work harder to like compete with Tim or someone like Tim.
So this is what Peter says, right? Same thing. Well, I'll change my name. I'll do whatever I got to do. You'll get a benefit just because you're named Miles Davis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Phil will just be like, dude, got to have this guy just so we can have Miles Davis hanging out with us.
I already got step one down, I guess.
You got one thing going for you, but otherwise, no, you got a lot going for you, but still, right? It follows you around.
It does.
So your approach is to work harder.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, notice, and Tim, you too, but everybody else, it's particularly people. You heard his first thing. You heard what he said, right? What I got to do is work harder. He didn't say. Did anyone hear him say, "Oh, well, I'm going to have to claim discrimination, or I'm going to have to go start a protest, or I'm going to have to go whatever." Who knows? The fuck? No. He didn't say any of that. He's like, well, I'll just take responsibility for what I can take responsibility for, and I'll work harder. And once again, I said this before, man. Dudes, one thing that in particular I hear dominant groups doing all the time is saying, man, people are just complaining. And they're complaining because they don't want X, Y, or Z. Just complaining. It's like, Myles isn't complaining, my friends. I rarely hear black and brown people complaining. What I hear black and brown people doing is saying, I got to work harder. And I'm like, why do you got to work harder, dude? If I can get you to work harder, that's awesome. Because that just even elevates me more. It elevates Tim more. Well, you and I are just going to get the natural benefit, and then you can work harder, so it's all good. But you're not going to turn around and blame the system. You're going to turn around and just work harder. Because he could be blaming the system, but he's actually saying, no, I'll just take responsibility for myself and work harder. Do you have anything else, dude?
Well, I kind of like figured I can't beat the system, and everybody that tries to beat the system, like doesn't like the chances of success are very low.
Yep.
So why not play their game and beat them in their game?
Yeah, just work harder. I got you. It's all you can do. I mean, really, it's all you can do, right? But meanwhile, when you're saying like, hey, I'm just going to work harder, and white people are over here saying, no, hang on, man, I'm going to go right up here. And white people are sitting back going like, man, why do we got to keep talking about this stuff? Like, come on, man. Aren't we done with this? Like, come on. Stop. People keep complaining. Like, what's the problem here? What is it? Especially black people, man. They're always complaining. Asians, black people, Latinos, what the fuck? Like, stop complaining. Just make it happen. Like, 4 times? Dude, I haven't dropped an F-bomb the entire semester. Have I? I don't think I have. I have? All right, hang on. All right.
You weren't here last week. It's fine.
All right, that's good. All right. So, anyway, look. So, the problem is when you're sitting back in this way and saying like, yeah, I don't know. Then it all works. It works to keep some people in power, man. Tim, there's nothing you can do except take responsibility and just recognize a certain amount of like benefits that you have as a man. Are you straight?
No.
You're not?
No.
What are you?
I'm gay.
You're gay?
Yes.
Are you? Are you
Yeah, no,
out? Well, you're out now, but
only my friends know. Like to hear, like I've never come out of Penn State before.
Dude.
Now. I was kind.
It's Pride Week, my friend. If you're not out in Pride Week, when are you gonna come? Are you gay, bro? You're not? All right. So wait. You might be. Everyone I bring up seems like they're gay. Dude, so who are you out to?
Like all my friends at home, my sister, and I told my mom and dad to watch this like sometime. If they're watching right now, they might know I'm gay now. But I don't know.
Dude, wait, hang on. Dude, hang on.
They wouldn't care though.
They wouldn't care? They're cool?
Yeah.
Do they?
My mom one time asked, and I said no.
You said, why'd you say no?
Because I wasn't even out to like anyone yet. I was like not ready.
You were not, so you weren't, yeah. Did you know that you were gay though when you said no to her?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know why I said no. It just kind of.
When did she ask?
I don't know. It was just like.
Recently?
Well, she asked if I had a girlfriend, and I was like, no. She was like, do you have a boyfriend? I was like, no. So she didn't technically ask if I was
Well,
gay.
were you lying though? Did you have
Yeah.
a boyfriend at the time?
No, I did not.
All right, well, you weren't lying. That's all good. Dude, so let's imagine your parents are watching in that camera right there. All right. Just, what do you want to say to them?
Hi, I'm gay, mom and dad. Like, yeah.
Good. And the class loves it, right? Awesome.
So, yeah.
All right, dude. Thanks. Well, thanks for rocking it. It's Pride Week, so it's awesome. Yeah, very cool. All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. All right.
Yo, Sam, I actually looked up while you were talking this last thing. I actually looked up, and Harvard just released something about 1.5 years ago. They did another study. People who whiten their name on resumes have, for black people, a 15% chance more to get a callback, and Asians about a 10% more chance. So it even goes back to names, it goes to race, like it's all these things are connected.
So for going by Peter is infinitely better than, I mean, not infinitely better, because whatever, who cares? You don't get called back. I mean, I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's one of these things. So, okay, so who has a couple questions? Let's just take 10 minutes and just open it up for some questions. Comments, whatever you want to say. I don't know. Who's got a question? We have 10 minutes. We have 11 minutes, actually, according to my watch, and we're not leaving until we get some questions. All right, now.
Okay, so my question's kind of going back.
You can stand up, actually, and hold the mic close when you ask the
Gotcha.
question.
Okay, so my question goes back to the attractiveness and whether we choose someone's hair based off of white hair, and a lot of that actually has to do with science and biology of attraction. Do you think that plays a part into what we would consider to be racist if biologically we are more attracted to people that have specific figures specifically for reproduction?
Okay, listen, man. So here's what we know for certain, that we think we know for certain. The only thing that we can identify that people seem to be attracted to are symmetrical features. That in any culture, with any background, wherever it is, symmetrical features. So like eyes, there's a symmetry with, like, there's a center point in the face that in a particular culture it seems to be symmetrical, not off. There's nothing else really. There's nothing, we can come up with certain things like, yeah, women with certain hip height, but there's nothing that we can say that is fundamentally rooted in attractiveness.
Well, actually, I just looked up a scholarly article from
Yeah.
Birmingham Southern College.
Yeah.
And it said that there are specific body types, whether it's height, weight,
Yeah, hang on.
waist
So
size,
I know,
etc.
I'm talking about all cultures,
Yes.
not a single culture. In any single culture, we can find certain things. So so wherever you go, but that's a culture. Those are traits that people are learning within that culture. I'm talking about traits across all Homo sapiens. That's what we're talking
I'm
about.
talking about like the shape of their
There is
size
none.
and things.
I'm telling you, my friend, there are zero. I've studied this inside and out, There's nothing that we know every single person across all cultures are connected to, which means that we can create anything and we can put it onto people and we can say like, okay, here it is. I can teach you. I can socialize a whole world to if it's not just a person, I can't like take you as a child and I can like raise you as a child within a particular culture that has certain that has certain ideas and like get her to like those ideas. No, when the whole culture is going in a certain way, we can get anybody to follow it. And there are certain things that, the only thing that we really think there is within particular cultures is symmetry, but otherwise, no, there's not.
You don't agree with the scientific study? Like, there's several.
Dude, hang on,
scientific
science.
Yo, can you
No.
tweet that just tweet it with the hashtag and I'll take a look at it.
Yeah,
I'm
make a
very
Twitter
curious
and
in
I
it.
can. It's more
Yeah.
so about the fertility aspect that's been studied heavily.
Yeah, it's been studied, but there's nothing at all. I'm telling you. Yeah, bro. I hear you. Yo, hang on, go ahead.
Okay. A comment that caught my attention was when you were at the front and you made the comment that it seems like everyone who comes to the front is gay. And I was wondering why you think it's less likely for straight boy students to volunteer to come to the front.
I don't, actually. I was just making a comment.
Okay.
Going back to that one day. Remember that one day when we had 3 people in a row who were all gay? And I said, my God, is the whole class gay? Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't actually. I don't think there's any correlation between people being gay and being willing to talk. Although I don't know, Jeff, is there, my friend?
How the hell would I know?
Dude, yeah, I don't know, man. All right, bro.
One of the questions that was brought up in the World in Conversation last week was someone made the comment that you shouldn't be allowed to talk about like black issues because you're not black. And then one of the TAs popped the question out that if you were black, but you didn't experience any racism or oppression,
Yeah.
would you still be allowed to talk about racism and oppressions on blacks? And the same person that made the comment said you still should be allowed. And I
Wait.
just was curious to see how you feel about
Wait,
that.
so hang on a sec. So the idea that somebody said was maybe I shouldn't be allowed to talk about issues related to black people because I'm not black?
Yeah, that's what they said. I didn't say I agreed with it.
No, I got that. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not even really sure how to respond to that. If we limited ourselves in that way, I would be able to talk about mostly straight white men in their 50s with graying hair who are able-bodied and professional who grew up in Ohio in the United States. That would be like it.
Yeah, and then my counter question would be like, well, if you were black, would by that same logic, would that mean that you aren't allowed to talk about white issues
Exactly.
then?
That would be the same logic. You can talk about anything. I couldn't talk about sociology. Like I couldn't talk about anything. It's like, yeah, that's one of those, dude, just because people say, and so here's what happens in the world of race, right? Because people say it in the world of race, so it like shuts everybody down, as opposed to saying, that's a really insane idea. But we often don't have those. It's like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't talk, or maybe I shouldn't, or whatever. Yeah. And in fact, this is what we want. What we're saying is we need people to start talking about this stuff. We need to talk about it. Yes. Yo, man. It's Pride Week.
Pride Month.
Pride Month.
Well,
oh my God. You get a whole month.
Okay,
All right.
so
You actually get two
basically,
now.
there's so we had a football game this weekend, and one of the football players received this mail.
Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about this next
Oh,
class, by
love.
the way.
Okay, well, I just wanted to bring that up.
You can,
So,
what's that?
do you want me to like explain it?
Nah, how about I
No?
just talk about it next class, because it'll just take us. Like,
Okay.
I can't. Yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah. I appreciate you bringing it up, though. It's cool. Yeah. But you know what? Well, you just said it. So now people have to go out and get on their phones and be like, yo, what happened to one of the Penn State football players? All right. So it's better that everyone looks it up on their own. Somebody else. We have a couple minutes. Hey, by the way, yes. So, dude, you're killing it.
You think so?
Yeah, you're totally killing it, man.
I'm
Go
so
ahead.
excited. So let me ask you, do you think you're a recipient of white privilege?
Totally, man. Are you kidding me? Do you think that you here? Stand up a second. If she, this is you remember Alaire, right? So if Alaire even dared to say, "Dude, can you go back one?" If Alaire dared to talk about this, you were the professor in the class. You talked about this. You brought a white person up and a black guy up, and you were like, dudes, class, white people in the class, you are the recipients of white privilege. Look at this. Like, said everything that I just said. How do you think people would respond? How many hands would go up? What would happen?
I don't even think they would be a platform for that to even happen.
No, there's a platform for it to happen. Dude, come on. There are lots of black and brown professors that talk about this
But I'm saying
stuff.
on your magnitude, to have a live stream and have a 700 class, it's not
Okay,
gonna happen, bro.
but there are. So
But they don't do this.
Okay, but listen, if they did, so here's what it is. But imagine you did do it. Imagine you came in as a guest speaker.
Okay.
And you said that. What do you think would happen?
I would be called down to ethics and
No,
compliance.
you wouldn't have that. You would be called down by people going like, "Hey, excuse me, what's your last name again?"
I don't want to disclose.
Professor Alaire. Professor Alaire. Wait, where'd you get those data from? I want to see that study. I want to know how many people are we talking about? Like, hang on a minute. I don't really it'd be one thing. They start questioning how you know this, how you did it, how
I
you
do
did
agree
it,
with that.
all that stuff. And it's not happening here. Right? So it's like, okay. I
Well, she
get it.
did question you.
No,
you
but she
shut her
didn't
down.
question me.
Bro. Sam, she came with facts, and you were like, "Nah, I do this. I do this for real."
All right, hang on. All right, hang on. Let me respond to that. Listen. Hang on. So anyway, I agree. I have privilege to do it. Listen, can I come back to you on this? Listen, can I come back to you? All right. Here's the deal, right? So I want to say this to you because I'm really comfortable being questioned. I want to be questioned because you notice I don't put I put some studies out and I'm careful about the studies, but I'm not just throwing stuff around, right? So look, beauty and attractiveness and what Homo sapiens are fundamentally attracted to. Homo sapiens, right? So we're talking about 250,000 years of what is our species walking upright and what we're attracted to and what we're not. There are speculation that, hey, maybe men are more attracted to women with a little bit wider hips because it means they're more likely to give birth successfully and one thing after another. All of it is speculation. There is no causality. You get it? There's nothing. Yo, hang on. I'll be done. Give me 30 seconds. 30. Do I got 30 seconds? We cool? Dude. It's not possible to go back 250,000 years and find definitive causality. So we don't know that. We absolutely don't know that for 250,000 years across all cultures that there's one single thing that everybody's attracted to. And so we can study it, but we don't know that. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, but with that being said, so with science you can actually have physical laws that prove things like that. Would you not agree that
Yeah, but not this.
humanities, it's even more so?
Okay, hang on. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Listen. What you're talking about is the mix. It's not. First off,